Week 2 of the Iowa high school football season. West Branch football coach John Nestor joins me here on the Bearcast. Coach, last week, that game's passed. We're going to move forward now to Dike-New Hartford. What are your initial thoughts from what you've seen from this football team on film?
Yeah, they're physical. They like to run the ball. They also like to pass it. So we're going to have to be balanced on defense.
This is a team that, through the years, I mean, when you watch them film from year to year to year, they do really predicate it on a physical team. They want to come up to the line, pound you in the face, pick you up, and then try to do it again the next. And then sooner or later, they do things kind of like a shot of Novocaine. Sooner or later, it wears on you. Sure. And you got to try to fight that. What do you do what's a team try to do to defend against that?
Well, you have to match it.
Yep.
But then you have to set the tone as a team.
Okay.
And as long as you set the tone, as long as you bring the physicality to them and you do it for 4 quarters, which we're going to do that, I'm going to like our chances.
How about the positives you get moving in through this week so far? You've seen in practice and from the kids with their heads up after getting that 24 hours of not remembering anything that happened before.
Yeah, I think the first half there was a lot of positives. And like you could point at the offensive line. On defense, we held Williamsburg to 63 yards rushing. I think last year they had 200. So there's a lot of positives that we pulled out of that entire half. Now, after one play, everything snowballed. But for an entire half, we ran with a team that is ranked 1 in 3A and arguably might be better than last year's team. I mean, they had a lot of dudes on the field, and, at the end of the day, we just didn't have guys to match it. Right, but I was proud of our guys. I thought we battled, and we pulled an entire half out of that game as something that we can build on.
How about this is for fun? You look at last, you said this team's the number 1 ranked team. Williamsburg being Williamsburg. Now you play Dike-New Hartford, who before last week was ranked number 1 in the state. So the schedule makers are great for you in your first 2 games as an Iowa high school football coach, but
it doesn't stop. Like, they saw the guy from Chicago coming in. We're going to get all the ranked teams and just load the schedule, man.
But, the old adage is there are going to be 2 of them I use here in the next minute and a half. This one I'm just going to say, to be the best, you got to beat the best anyway. So to come through, to get better as a football, you want to see these teams that are better. That's going to make you a better team, right?
100%. I want to play the best teams every single week. It's what I told the guys back in February. I want to play good teams every single week. I want them battle-tested. Right? Because I don't want to get to the playoffs and go, oh, now we have to play a good team. I want to have played 3, 4, 5 really good teams. It's going to help us in the playoffs.
And, one of my favorite cliches, and I say it every year, and it's just, as Matt, we were talking, he says that cliches are that way because they're usually proven, is teams from week 1 to week 2 usually see the most improvement. Sure. Is that something that you've seen in your many, many years of coaching?
We have. Yeah, I mean, I'm going back almost 20 years. Typically the good teams, the teams that want to get better, that have the culture in place, they make those strides between week 1 and week 2. And then they build on it.
Well, it's Cyclone week 2, just a side note. Son playing in the Cyhawk game. How about that?
I'm a little distracted.
So you can't even think about those things because West Branch.
You got to keep me focused, man. Keep me focused.
Number 1 priority through tonight. That's right. Up at Dike-New Hartford. The first time West Branch has ever played a football game at Dike. 4th time they played, first time at Dike. It's going to be a fun game. 2 really good football teams. Looking forward to it.
Yep, for sure.
Make sure you check. If you can't make the 92-mile drive up there to Dike, we got you covered on the Bearcast. Teeing it up at about 7:15. But wherever we go, we're going to be there. Go Bears.
Go Bears.